What do you hear? What do you say? This is VERTiiGO bringing you another video, and this video is going to be something completely different to what I usually do. I'm going to be talking about Star Wars The Last Jedi, Episode 8 in the saga. Now, I don't usually talk about movies. The last time I spoke about a movie on my channel was Episode 7, and I did that video the night of the release of the movie. This one, I needed a lot more time to think about it and really let it soak into my head where I place this movie, whether or not I even liked it or not. It took me a while, and after a month, I think it's been over a month now since its release, I think I finally, had enough of thinking about it, and I can now just talk about it and get a lot of things off my chest, and put it on my channel as a record of my thoughts. First, I want to say this is going to be spoilers, okay? It's been out for over a month now. I'm sure everyone's basically seen it by now anyway, but I just want to make sure you guys know this is going to be spoilers. I'm not going to hold back on that. Now, did I like it? I can't say I did. I really can't, and that hurts. It hurts a hell of a lot. I wouldn't say it's a terrible movie. I think a lot of people are overreacting a little bit, but it's not a good movie. It's kind of just disappointing. There are things about it I like. There are scenes in there that I love, but there's a lot of really weird choices and things that, quite frankly, pissed me off, which I'll get to in more detail. Let me just first of all say Mark Hamill, Luke Skywalker, got screwed, okay? People have been waiting years, decades, to see Luke Skywalker back on the big screen in a big way. And, yeah, he was just used as a plot device to further the newer characters. And I'm not against elevating new characters. I mean, you want to make the movie about Rey, that's fine. You want to make the movie about Finn, that's fine. But you don't have to use the corpses of the original heroes in order to elevate the current ones. It's such a poor way of doing it, and quite frankly, it's annoying. In saying that, I want to talk about Rey, because I've done a 180 on Rey. Episode 7, I loved it. I know a lot of it was rehashed from A New Hope, obviously. I wasn't too fussed about that, because this was basically rebooting the Star Wars franchise again. So they went for a more safe route, a familiar route, which I felt was fine. I thoroughly enjoyed The Force Awakens. I loved all the characters, and unlike a lot of people who are calling her a Mary Sue, I disagreed. And the reason why I disagreed is because I thought, in Episode 8, they're going to explain her backstory. We're going to find out why she's as powerful as she is. We're going to find out why she somehow uses mind tricks without any training whatsoever. We're going to find this out. There's got to be a backstory, right? There has to be. And then Episode 8 comes out, and no. There's no explanation. She's just powerful because she's powerful. And that fucking sucks. Basic script writing for the hero's journey is the hero starts from nothing, fails, and has to overcome, and then eventually overcomes. That's what the hero's journey is. It's a journey. There's nothing exciting about watching somebody who can already do it all and beat everyone from day one. It's boring. I love Star Wars. The last thing I want to say about Star Wars is it's boring. No, the action scenes aren't boring. No, there's a lot of great battle scenes, but the writing and the storytelling and the depth of these characters, especially Rey, is fucking boring. Can you imagine if Luke Skywalker defeated Darth Vader in Empire Strikes Back? That would have been What an incredibly dumb decision. Instead, they humanized Luke. They put him on Dagobah with Yoda, where he'd done some training and failed. He then left Yoda to fight Vader before he was ready and paid the price. He'd learnt from that. That taught Luke a lot more than winning would have. A Jedi should not fight with emotion. He should not act on emotion. That was the lesson. But in these movies, Rey seemingly just does everything great. She's a great pilot. She's a great Force user. She can fight royal guards with a lightsaber who have been training their entire life in combat. She can take on 3 or 4 of them at once. She can lift 1,000 rocks to clear the way for the Resistance, while Luke struggled to lift 3 or 4 when training with Yoda. And what's annoying most of all is more than likely she's going to rebuild the Jedi Order, where Luke failed to do. And that is going to be the biggest slap in the face of it all. What this movie essentially has done has made Episode 9 irrelevant. The wonder of, will Kylo turn to the light and be redeemed, is gone. They've already covered that in Episode 8. It's done. He's not going to turn to the light. That story plot is over. The only Force user that was more powerful than Rey is dead. And it's become quite obvious that Disney and Lucasfilm are not going to turn Rey to the dark side because she's basically Jesus. So what is there to look forward to in Episode 9? Say what you want about Episode 7, but Episode 7 at least asked questions. It made us wonder what's next. What's going to happen in Episode 8? Who was Rey's parents? What's Luke doing on the island? Who's Supreme Leader Snoke? Is Kylo going to turn to the light and be redeemed? All these questions we had after Episode 7. But what questions are you asking yourself for Episode 9? Another lightsaber fight between Rey and Kylo that we've already seen, and we already know that Rey's going to win because she's already beat him? I walked out of the cinema of Episode 8 convinced that I liked the movie. And that's because I'm a diehard Star Wars fan. I want to like it. I don't want to believe that a Star Wars movie can be bad or average. I want to enjoy it as much as possible. But doing things like killing off Snoke, who was very interesting, or killing off Luke without giving him the treatment that he deserved, or making lazy decisions like making Rey so powerful without any reason whatsoever, and before anybody says, you're just angry because it's a female powerful character, that is a fucking cop-out and bullshit. I don't care if the main character's a male, female, or an alien. They gotta be written correctly. They gotta be given depth. They gotta be made interesting. I forgave what they did in Episode 7 because I thought these questions about Rey would be answered. I didn't want to believe that she was just an OP Mary Sue character. I didn't want to believe that. She had to be previously trained and, at a young age she was abandoned and somehow the Force awoke in her and all these memories in the back of her mind were ignited again. I wanted to believe all that, but it's become clear that no, she's just able to use Jedi mind trick. No problem. First time, first movie, done. Kylo Ren struggling to lift a lightsaber hilt out of the snow. Rey, first time trying to do it, done. A bunch of heavy rocks blocking the way, probably weighs a ton. What's that? You've only been using the Force for 3 or 4 days? No problem, just lift them all. That is lazy storytelling. And I haven't even touched on the other stuff like the whole casino storyline, which was absolute just trash. The Leia scene, I don't want to say too much about that because Carrie Fisher, I'm still broken up about her death, and I don't want to be disrespectful to her, but that scene in space was... It was a little bit embarrassing. I felt a little bit embarrassed in the cinema when that happened. It's just silly. Just really silly. I could go on and on about this. I could make a 40-minute long video, but I don't want to do that. I just wanted to get my thoughts out in the open, especially about Rey, because that's been bugging me more than anything. They're basically making Luke the failure of the story now, and she's going to succeed and pick up where he couldn't. And that fucking bugs me. That really bugs me. God damn it. I wouldn't be as mad if there was a reason for it, but it just feels like she's just an OP character just for the sake of being an OP character. Fuck. Anyway, guys. I don't know. I might get a lot of hate for this video, a lot of dislikes. It's whatever. It's my opinion. Anyway, until next time, I love you guys, and may the Force be with you always.